Now I'm going to load a scene where I can show you the creating the camera, setting the camera, and then um, create multiple cameras. How to manage it also. Okay, let me go to File, Open. You won't be able to see the dialog box because it is another window. Okay, so only this Blender window will be seen by you. You cannot see the uh, folder dialog box. Yeah, so sorry. So this is what you are seeing. Okay, so what we have is uh, we are looking at a house which has like some camera animation is there. I'll show you here. So you can see here some camera animation I've done like this from here to this is a font. Okay, just in front of the camera there is a font. Right. Let's delete the animation and we'll do it by ourselves. I'm going to clear the keyframes, and then this also I'm going to clear it. Fine. Now let's go to the first frame. I think one more camera is there. Okay, only one camera is there. This is camera long shot. Okay, the camera name of the camera is camera long shot, or we can keep it like shot 101. That is shot 01 camera. We have to mention the frame number also from frame number 001 to 100 or something. Right. So this is how we should name the camera. It will be helpful. Okay. So that frame numbers are there in that, with the shot number is there. Everything is there. Actually, we don't need this camera name. We can remove. It should not be too lengthy. So we can reduce the. We can remove the camera word. So shot one, frame number 1 to 100. Right. Now you must be knowing how to switch from user perspective camera to camera perspective. That is, when I press 0 in the numerical pad, it switches to camera perspective. See, you can see the camera perspective. When to come back to the user perspective, again press the 0. Like this, right? Now I want to see the name here, otherwise no, it will be difficult for me to identify which camera it is. If suppose if I have multiple cameras, I will want to see which camera I am viewing through. So for that, where should we go? We have to select the camera, and then in the properties editor, data properties, camera data properties, in that viewport display column is there. In under the viewport display column, switch on the name. Immediately you will be able to see the shot 1, frame 100, or the camera name you will be able to see. Right. Now if you want this the around this is called field. Okay, this orange color lines are there, no, or yellow color lines, they are called field guide we see. So if you want the darker area around this field, you have to make this pass a part out 1. If you don't want that, you can just switch off. Suppose you are working in ad company or something, no, there you may have to do this short one, short two, all at that time you can use these naming conventions for camera along with the frame numbers, all that you can follow. Then you will have to switch on these viewport display name and pass a password, all this. If you do that, no, it'll be helpful even before blocking. If you are aware of that, that is when we do a small skit or small drama, no, in the 3D short animation, short movie and all. Uh, in that first we have to do the blocking. After storyboard, pre-production, we'll have to do the blocking. It is almost like pre-production only. So only after blocking, using the whatever resources you have, some characters, some sets, like some like it may be of very primitive shapes. Okay, the character may not be so perfect looking, the sets may not be so perfect looking. Just to fix a camera angle, and if there is any camera movement in that particular shot, you will do that camera movement also, all that. And so you will get an idea after doing shot 1, shot 2. Suppose you have that drama is having shot 1 to shot 10 shots, you will just arrange. And then in the blender itself we have the editing. There you will edit whichever places, that is frames you want to trim, you will trim and then see. Then you will come to a conclusion, okay, this is this much. If I show, that is enough. So I need not model many things. I can model only that I am going to show inside this field. What we are seeing, no, where my cursor is, that is called field. Inside the field, whatever is there and whatever I have approved it, that is enough to model. Like that you will come to a conclusion. Then your work, you can save your work much. For that only we do the blocking. And then it's kind of 3D storyboard we call it, or previous, all that we can call it. So this at the time, this passe partout, these whatever I have told you, these options are all very helpful. And you can switch on the safe areas also. See, safe areas, when I switch it on, you can see this uh, like dotted lines are there. Maybe the video it may be difficult to see it. Dotted lines are there inside the field guide. You will see the dotted lines, they are also part of field guide only, right? So switching all these things, now what you have to do, let's fix the camera angle and animate it. So camera angle, I can just take it little, that is uh, dollying the camera. I'm dollying the camera like this. Sorry, that is in Blender we have to go to this view and then select this one, camera to view, switch on this checkbox, and then when you do the scroll mouse button, it will zoom inside the field. Okay, if I switch off that, it will zoom like this. Okay, so you have to switch on this to change the camera angle inside the field. So I have switched it on. You can see on the sidebar it is third column, view. Inside under the view column, you will see this camera to view option. You have to switch on that and then do work on the camera angle. So I think I can select this and press dot in the keyboard, dot, numerical dot. It is frame selection. Right. So now I'm keeping it like this. Right. Now I'll go to top view, select the camera, and then key it. Either you can switch on this one, auto keying, or ourselves we can do. I prefer to do by myself. I press the I and then, sorry, I press that is, you can press K also. and then a location and rotation, fine. Then at 100th frame, let me go to top view and then move it. I'm using the local axis transform orientation, okay, not the global axis. You can see this global axis is parallel to the global gizmo. It matches with the global gizmo of this one. We should not use that mostly. We should be using this local axis orientation only. So at 100th frame, I'm keeping it little nearer. Right. Now I'm pressing the K, location and rotation. Switch back to the camera perspective. Right, now you can see the animation. Fine. Now we can just do it like as if this camera is going inside this O letter. That also we can do. We can this time we can switch on this auto key and then just try to uh, place this camera like this, so it gets keyed there. We can use this right arrow button in the keyboard. We should not key too much also. Every frame, if we are doing the keyframes, no, if we are inserting the keyframes for every 38, 39, 40 like that, if we are inserting, what will happen? Jerks may show up like jerks. So we should avoid those frame to frame keying. So at least some 3 frames gap should be there. It'll be nice. Okay, this is okay. I feel fine. Right. Now suppose this camera is halting for some time. Okay, this camera for some like some 50 frames it is halting. So what I will do, I am shifting this. I'll go to DOF sheet and then I'll shift this duration to 50. You can do it in the timeliner itself. I'm just using the DOF sheet, that's all. Right. So 1 to 50 we have time for applying depth of field. Okay. I think you are aware of this depth of field. You would have heard is that is those who have done photography course and all, they must have definitely heard this. Depth of field is if you want the viewers to focus on what you are really intending to show, then you need to use the depth of field. For example, I don't want to show in the beginning this house, but I want to show only this mountain house letters. So in that case, I can use the depth of field. So what I will do, I will select the camera and we can see the depth of field here. Focal length is 45.25 mm. That is okay. Let it be like that only. Now also clipping you should see. Okay, if clipping by default the clipping will be 100. Okay, in Blender. See, it should not be 100 because distance is more. No, if you go to top view, see the distance how much it is. The distance tool is there here on the left side in the toolbox. You can just select that and see the distance from here. See how much distance it is there. So at least 200 is there. Okay. So we can put some 500 at least. Right. Now go to press 0 and then go back to the 3D. If you are keeping some background in the some image in the background, no, Then that is matte painting. Matte painting background you are going to keep there. Then the clipping should have more numbers, like 5,000 or something, I think. At least more than 1,000. Right. Now let's switch on the depth of field. In Blender depth of field, we have this advantage of having, uh, we can do this blurring effect, okay, for the based on the object also, or based on the distance. Both option we have, because in Blender we can choose the object. See, focus on the object, particular object I want to focus, so other things should become blur. Like that also you can choose, or you can choose to uh, choose the distance way of blurring the scene. So basically you have to understand this, what is this depth of field. I'll show you. um, we go to uh, so in this side view I can show you, I think, what is depth of field. See, uh, the font is here. Let me make this font bigger, okay, for just for now. I'll make this font bigger. Fine. So here is a font, here is a camera. Camera source is here, okay. This fall off we need not take it into account. This, the camera source is here, font is here, and this is the subject. At least till here is the subject, okay. So now, uh, what is depth of field? So from this is the viewpoint. huh? This is a point of view, POV. Okay. So I want to blur this initially. Then I'll show the final subject which I'm going to show. Later I'll show. For now, initially we will be showing this mountain house, this font will be showing. So for now, this is the uh, focal point, FP. So this is called depth of field. See, from this end to this end, no, this is called depth of field. DOF. Okay. So even if something else is there in front, that will become blur, and the what is there behind this word, this font, also will become blur. So only this one, this area, this particular area will be sharp. Okay, that is called depth of field. So this is focal distance. This completely is focal distance. So this is where we are going to focus actually. So now, once we, that is, once this becomes blur and this becomes sharp, this is the depth of field. That is, this one becomes the depth of field, DOF. Okay. So like that we are going to animate the depth of field. Right. So now switch. Let's erase this. Let's make this small because we made it big for our to just to from the side view we had to make it bigger. Now let's go to the properties, camera properties, select the camera. Just make sure that you have switched off the auto key. Okay, not all the time it should be on. Because it will be like in Maya, one key at least should be there for the auto key to work, for the auto key to start functioning in case of Maya. But in case of Blender, it is once you just switch on, even even if the object is not having any key, zero keys, this auto key will start making the keys. Whatever changes you are going to make at the time, will do the keying work. So you make sure that you are switching off once your work is done. Right now, uh, I told you that camera, that is, we have shifted it. So 1 to 50 are free frames for us to apply the depth of field. So let me first have this mountain house as clear in the first frame itself, and the house should be blurred. So how to do that? I'll go to top view again, press 7 on the keyboard and go to top view, and see, so from here this object here should be sharp and this house should be blurred. Okay, so for that now we need something called limits. We have to switch on this limit. Okay, and here under this depth of field column in the properties, focus distance, this is what we are going to change the numbers. Right. Now 120, by default it is 120, we have to change it. Let's see where the 120 is. See here the 120 is. Do you see a white color dot or something? It's a crosshair, I think. So that we have to bring it, this one we have to bring it here. This small white color dot we have to bring it here, where that is, sorry, here where the font is. So let's bring it. Focus distance should become less and less. You can type on 10 or something. Let's switch on the transparency. Yeah, it is here only. Yeah. See, it is here. That's not the point. It is the crosshair. It's called crosshair. And we go to add empty node, plane axis. That's what it is. This plane axis is here. We have to bring this plane axis to this place. Okay, this is that plane axis. We have to bring it to here. Right. Let me increase the. See, we can see it is progressing. So I can move this with the using the focus distance. Fine, I'm keeping it here. Let's go to 0. Right. Now we are not able to see anything. Okay, there is no effect because we have to switch to render mode, not the solid or material preview. Let's switch to render mode. I am pressing Z in the keyboard and then switching to render mode. It's processing. Yeah, see, it has become blur. So in this blur we have few more details. You see, in this blur, if you see, few more details we have to explain. See, focus distance we saw. Okay, fine. Now the next thing is aperture. Aperture column. In that f-stop is there. Huh? F-stop, it's like f number. We can say f number. Huh? So you can like how many uh, F's are there from here. Like that, if you place a F letter here from your camera to the house, how many F's are there? Like that you can. So uh, we have um, like suppose if the how much light the camera is allowing to for the light to get in, that much is the f-stop. Okay, so that is the f number we call it. More light it when it enters, more the numbers. So now that is the f-stop. Next thing is blades. When you increase the blades, minimum is 3. Okay, blades are minimum 3. When you increase it, you will see these circles, blurred circles. They call it BOKEH. It's a Japanese word, BOKEH. B um, BOKEH. Huh? It's called, those circles, blurred circles are called bokeh or bok. I don't know how to spell it. It's a Japanese word. Okay, so in movies and all, you will see that there is distant things and all where there are lights in the night time. Road lights, they show it little blurred, and the character near the camera they will show it very sharp. It is for the aesthetic sense. For suppose you are working on some ad, okay, at the time you can, it's maybe a very small ad, so in short time you want to convey something very strong, very emotional message. At that time you can use this depth of field techniques. So bokeh, this bok, when you're when you increase these blades, okay, to 6 or something, then you will see circles. If it is 3, you won't be able to see the circles. It will be like little hexagon, sharp it will be. That is, it won't be rounded. So if you more you increase the blades, more rounded the circles will be. They call it circles of confusion. Circles of confusion. Then you can rotate this also. Sometimes if you rotate it also, it will be nice. Suppose if the camera is like uh, like kind of thinking effect, if you are doing, no, like when you are seeing something and also thinking, that kind of effect you can bring it in the rotation. Then ratio is like uh, it will look like, if you increase the ratio, it will look like as if it is motion blur, like that effect it will give. So for those things we can increase the ratio. I'll show you those things, but here it's not easy to explain these things. I will show you in a different blender. For now we will just animate it and finish this scene first. Right now I am keying the focus distance here, right click and then insert keyframe, and taking my time slider to the 50. Fine. Now let me go to top view. Now I want to, at the frame 50, no, I want to show this house and the mountain house, that font should become blur. Right. Now I'll increase the Let's make this transparent. Right. So you know the focal distance is somewhere here, I think. Yeah, it is inside here. Hmm? So uh, this guy should go here. Hmm? Right. Let me take this here, increasing the number. See, it's moving. See, from here to here, it's moving. Let me put some 80 or something. Okay, 150. Okay, so 150 is here. Let me put 110. Yeah, 110 is here. You can see that. Hmm? You can see that. Fine. Okay. Right now, let's go to camera view, rendered mode, and see it. See, the mountain house has become blurred, and the house is seen sharp. Now you can key it. Right. Now let's just animate it and see. Scrub the slider and see it. See. So maybe if you give more time, no, you should halt it also. See, for the viewers to understand what you are showing, no, it should be in the beginning. At least 1 second should be halted. You must show the blurriness for the mountain house should remain for at least for 1 second. Hmm? Then you can slowly make the house sharp and the mountain, the nearest thing, blurred, like that. So it needs more frames. Once you play it like this and then see how it looks like, then you can decide, about the timing. Right. Now we will take a next. There is another window and do the uh, there is view. What is this? These details I'm going to show you about the aperture, especially these blades. No, I'm going to show you. I'll minimize this and then open a new blender. Fine. Right. Now we have the camera here. Okay. Let's first place the camera near this cube. You can just go to transform and make it 0 and then place it. It will be easy for me. Yeah, so 90. Yeah. So now the camera is exactly in front of the cube. Okay. Right. So this one we can scale it, make it a bit thinner, and keep it. Go to front viewport and then keep it on the x-axis line. This is x-axis line or floor line, or the floor we can say. And I'm applying all transforms. Now I'm going to apply array modifier and duplicate many times. Select the object, go to modifier, add modifier, generate array. Okay, and it should get multiplied in the by the y-axis. So 0 I am applying, in the y-axis I am applying the gaps between the cubes should be 3 or 7. Okay, I think, yeah, and increase the number to 9 or something. Now let's go and see. Okay, fine. Now this is the camera view we had set. Okay, see from this, when you see view it, it'll be like this, huh? So let me change the camera. Fine. Okay, let's create more gap between them. Okay, fine. Now I want to place some cube in the last, make it small. So I'll keep it on the last and go to top view and then keep it. Okay, we keep it here, or here also we can keep it. So this is where it is. Now I'm going to apply a material for this and apply the emission, should be brighter, and give the increase the strength to 1. Right. Now let's switch to material preview and let me select the camera and then switch on the field safe areas and then viewport display, pass a part out, increase it to 1 and make it uh, the the places around the field guide darker, and switch on the name also. Right. Now I am going to switch on these limits. Okay. Only then this crosshair. No, we can while increasing the depth of field, this focus distance, we can see that it is the placement where the location of this crosshair. When we increase this or decrease this. So I'm switching on the limits under the viewport display. Okay, it's very important. Right. Now for this one, I want to give some bit dull color. I will create a, yeah, already created. So let me make it dull. Some, yeah, orange color is okay. Fine. Now let's select the camera and go to top view. Place this crosshair, this one. See this one, huh? This one in the distance. Maybe some 20 or something, I think. It's not enough. 40, 35. Okay. Fine. So this is the region. Okay. This place. Okay. Now we are going to make these areas blur and then that guy sharp. Okay, point 1 I have kept in the f-stop, and focus distance is 36. 36 means that when I kept the crosshair there on the last cube, small cube, it became 36. The f-stop is 0.1 and blades I want to increase it to 3. Okay. Now let's rotate and see, there is not much effect. You can see some effect there, rotation you can see that. Okay, it should be animated very slowly like this. Okay, what all you are going to animate in your lifetime, you should do it very slowly. It should happen more number of frames you should give, more duration is needed. Huh? Right. Now if I increase this ratio, you see what is happening. See, like this, x and y will get stretched. If I am decreasing it, x is getting stretched, increasing, y is getting stretched. Like that. Now you can see clearly the rotation. See, like this. Right. Point 0.1 is okay, or 0.5 is okay for the ratio. Now if I increase the increase the blades, no, it will become little roundish. The maximum is 16. Okay, this is the maximum. Okay, only the distant object can be viewed as circles, not the nearest objects, because naturally it will become more blur, no, so it will become circular. But nearest object, because it is so near, this the shape is still is seen. It won't, it cannot blur it so easily and make it look like rounded. So, and the blades are maximum 16 only. Right. Now I am going to place this crosshair, this focal distance, nearer. Okay, somewhere here. Okay, here, the first cube. Okay, now let me go to the camera back. Now you can see that circle of confusion. See how it is looking. But we should not have this much actually. Till, yeah, like this. Yeah. So you can rotate also. If it is rounded, you cannot see the rotation properly. If it is if you decrease the blades to 3 or something, then you can see the rotation. See, you can see the rotation. So at least 6 or something hexagon we can put, and then you can rotate it. Now one more thing you can do is select that object and then go to emission, increase the strength. Oh, sorry, this object, cube 1, I think, yeah, cube 1, increase the strength like this. Okay, so that it becomes like this. So let me select the camera and then rotate and see. Like this. So blades can be 3 or 6 is okay, I feel. Just try 8. Okay, so if you increase it, increase the f-stop, the blur will be reduced. I will show you one image. In the image it will be clear. I will show you that. Okay, in this image they are explaining about the f-stop. F-stop, when it is lesser, the background is more blur. Okay, and the aperture is more maximum open. Lesser the f-stop, more the aperture is open. Okay, here if you see aperture is in the maximum, f22, it is, the aperture is open very less only, so at that time it is very sharp. Okay, you can remember how this concept, how you know, like whenever you are feeling, that is when your eyes are like feeling, after looking at the cell phone for long time, your eyes may feel like blurred. Okay, whenever whatever you are seeing, it may look blurred. At that time you will tend to make your eyes smaller and look at what you want to see uh, in the reality. Means what, you'll want to sharply see something, so your expression is naturally like you're tending to close your eyes and see only something. So same way here also, uh, when the aperture is smaller, okay, blades are like closing, at the time the subject, everything is sharper. When the aperture is has opened completely, the background is blur, or whichever the focal distance you have set, that places, apart from that the other places are blur. Huh? So that is how it is. This very this image you can just, whenever you are forgetting this concept, you can just download this image. If you want, I will send you in the WhatsApp or something. So this is the f-stop. If you understand this and do the animation, no, it will be nice actually. Hmm? This is the f-stop parameter you have. Right, I can hide this. Okay, so let's select the camera. So now you see, when I am decreasing it, see, f-stop is 0.1 now. Means what? It's so blurred. The aperture is fully open. Okay. Now I will increase the f-stop to some 22 or something. It is completely small. It is very, through a small hole we are seeing. Aperture is uh, closed. Okay, not much, but little only open. So at that time it is all very sharp. Okay, so, and blades, number of blades also matters. Number of blades, how it matters? If you want to see the circular circle of confusions, then you have to increase the blade number of blades. If you want to see hexagonal confusions, then you have to make it 3 or 8 or something. 8 will be okay. So let's decrease f stop to 0.2. Now you will get a decent kind of depth of field. Now in this depth of field, three ways are there. How? See, this place I have kept the emission cube. Okay, here I have kept the emission cube, this cube. Okay, green color emission. I am going to keep one more cube here. Okay, in the middle of it, I have selected Shift D and then move it and place it here and give a red color material. Okay, sorry, there is, I have to give a new material. Right, now I want this guy where I am placing in between these cubes. No, here let me place it here. So I want this guy to become sharper, other places blur. Okay, so I'll go to top view and bring the camera crosshair, that is this focal distance, to this region. This region. So let me put, okay, it is here now. So let me increase it. Yeah, it is now placed here. Yeah, near this. Now go to camera. Now you see the middle one is sharper, front one is blur, and last one is blur. Okay, I'll put 0.1 and show you. See, 0.05. So the middle one is sharper now. Middle one is sharper. The farthest one, farther Far means farther. Farther, farthest one is blurred, and the nearest one also blurred. So we have these three ways of blurring. That is, one is blurring this background. Okay, blur background, BG. Okay, blur foreground, FG. Okay, and then see this one sharp, focus, that is focusing on this object. So another is what, showing this one sharp, BG, FG will be sharp. Okay, and rest of the things will be blurred. Another thing is background will be blurred, background will be sharp, foreground will be blurred. Okay, so like this, sharp, sharp, sharp. So three ways of kinds of sharpening you can do. That is, this person is here, this is a camera. Okay, this is the depth of this is the distance. Here either you can make the foreground sharper, or middle one sharper, or background sharper. You have three options. When you make this middle one sharper, these will become blurred. Okay, like this. Right. So that is what we have done. Middle one sharper, and background and foregrounds are blurred. So wherever you keep simply this crosshair, this focal distance, that will become sharp. The rest of the places will blur, will get blurred. Because sometimes you may feel like, oh my God, I don't want the foreground to get blurred. No, like that you should not feel. At the time, what you should do, that is, you should select some collection of objects and make those objects sharper. Suppose I want this cube to be blurred. See, or I want this last green one to be blurred, that is to be sharp, or the red one to be sharp. Like that I can choose. So focusing depth of field based on objects also you can do, or depth of field based on distance also you can do. Both options are there here. Right. So I'll show you the So this is what we did here. Here also we animated the focal distance and achieved it. So today what you learned is these setting the camera, and then depth of field, aperture, and then animating it. Then I think you must be knowing, I think, that is camera, you should, in the scene properties, you should fix it, you should refer it here. Okay, if you have multiple cameras, one more camera, see, suppose I am duplicating this camera, and I'm changing some angle, keeping a top angle for this camera, and changing the focal length also. But you see, when I'm changing it, it is not showing. So what I have done is I have edited the first camera only, because I have selected here in the outliner. I'm thinking that the second camera is being edited. Okay, I'm changing the second camera. I thought no, still it is in the first camera. Okay, so how to change it to second camera? I'll tell you that. You can just name it for the difference now. Here to short. So selecting, we have to go to scene properties and then change it to short 2. Now it will immediately change. Now you can keep it. This camera, if you want to change from top, you can change it. If I want to switch back to the short one, that also I can do. So this camera, because we duplicated, it is also having the blur. We can switch off the blur if you don't want. In scene properties, we have to switch the cameras. Right. So frames per second also important. Okay, here we have to set the frames per second. Before starting the keyframing only, we should set the FPS and then only start keyframing. We were doing the insert keyframing. Before starting the animation, we should do the fix this frame rate, frames per second, then only we should start the animation. Okay, so you can tell me if you have any doubts, you can tell me. Hello? The class is going to get finished. If you have any doubts, you can tell me. Yeah, I will tell you. Just now I showed you, that is, we have to select this and then duplicate it. Shift D, escape. We have to bring the cursor to the viewport and then do it. Okay. Otherwise, keeping the cursor in the outliner, it won't get duplicated. Even if I press the Shift D, it won't get duplicated. We have to, after selecting the camera, bring your cursor to the 3D viewport, press Shift D and press escape. Then we have to go to scene properties. See, you can see when I keep the cursor here, it is showing scene properties. Inside the scene properties, go to the camera and switch on these. Like this, you can switch on. Only when you change here, it will change. And whatever camera is here, no, that will be rendered. If you are keeping, suppose you have rendered already the short 1, okay, then you are going to render the short 2, that is short 2 camera. Then what I have to do, I have to switch to short 2 camera and then put for render. But if you didn't do that, it will not by itself render it. You have to change the scene properties to camera 2. Okay, whatever cameras are there here, it will show naturally in the scene properties. If you just click in the camera field, it will show all the cameras existing in the scene, in the render scene. So 1, 2, 3 cameras we have, so it is showing 3 cameras. So shot 2, when I switched on, it is showing the shot 2. Switch on the shot 1, it will show the shot 1. So whichever you have set it in the scene properties, that will be rendered. Okay, so you have to render one by one. You have to render first the shot 1, then the shot 2. When you are going to render the shot 2, you have to go to scene properties, change it to shot 2, and then put render. And also you have to set the frame. See, for the camera 2, the frame numbers duration is different, period is different. Period means uh, next 101 to 200 is period, and duration is 100 frames. Right. Now then you have to go to the render properties, that is output properties, render output properties. There you have to, don't change the frame rate. In the beginning itself you have to set the frame rate, and then type 101 to 200. Path should be given like this, asterisk should be given. You can see that. You can see that. Okay, sorry. So you can see that. See, like this you should, the naming convention should be like this: the name of the file, frame numbers, and then the format. This you need not type actually. So name of the file, and then the asterisk frame numbers should be written here. Then path you should mention here. Then the image format or video or images you want to render, that you have to decide. If in case if you are selecting the FF MPEG video, you have to go to the encoding and then choose the MPEG 4, and then video codec should be H264, and then output quality should be lossless, and then this encoding speed should be slowest, so that you will get a good, that is better quality than good quality. Okay, like this. MPEG H264 lossless slowest. See, it will show here. When I keep here, no, it will show. Recommended if you have lots of time and want the best compression efficiency, slowest. Now if you have audio also, then you have to switch on the audio here and switch on not the MP3. Okay, MP3 don't select, AAC, double AC, always choose the AAC, not the MP3, because MP3 it is like the audio is not playing nicely when you are uploading it in some YouTube or anywhere. No, after that when you play in YouTube or YouTube, it is like it's not clear, audio is not clear. So choose AAC. So these are the channels you have to choose. Stereo is okay, and then sample rate 48,000 is okay. Here maybe bit rate 256 also should be okay. Like that. We will be looking at editing also. At that time I will tell you the further things and all. In we have editing, no, here we have editing here. I will show you. Right. Okay. So you understand, right? This scene properties, this is scene properties. This is what you asked. That is where to change the camera. You can see here. You can see here the camera name, Here whatever camera we are fixing, that camera will be shown here. Now it is in shot 1, I will change it to shot 2, here it will change. Only whatever the camera is here, that will be rendered here. Okay, when you put render, whatever camera you have mentioned in the scene properties, that will be rendered in the render animation. So once you finish the shot 1, rendering the shot 1 sequence, then you have to come to scene properties, switch change to camera 2, then put for render. Then for shot 3, once you finish the shot 2 sequence rendering, then come to scene properties again, change it to shot 3 camera and put for render. Like that we have to do. So okay guys, tomorrow we'll see. Huh? Hello? Yeah, okay, he is gone, I think. Vishnu is gone, huh? Okay. Right, okay. Okay, fine. Thank you.